Coming up on LUTV News, Lindenwood University students from Venezuela share their feelings about the death of President Hugo Chavez. We'll have that story coming up.
Plus, Lindenwood is raising prize for new students to attend the university. Find out why straight ahead.
This feline brings new meaning to the phrase fat cat. Up next, meet the St. Charles cat who is making international headlines, and he could be yours.
Those story plus sports, weather and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Julieta Rotzinger.
And I'm Emily Beck.
The death of Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez became a major international story this week. And for dozens of Lindenwood University students, the story is personal.
A very big amount of business are going to close. I mean, meanwhile, this situation. And I believe, yes, this is like a big, let's say this is gonna be in history for Venezuela for sure. Because we are closing a period and we're going to start a new one. We are looking forward to becoming a better country out of socialism.
To replace Chavez, Venezuela will hold elections, and what happens next is a big concern for these Lindenwood students.
The thing is that, I mean, we are expecting what's going to happen. I mean, we're having elections in the next 30 days, and what's going to happen is pretty important. I mean, we really need a change. I mean, back home. I mean, the country is in pretty bad conditions right now. But well, yeah, we're waiting for what's going to happen. You know.
Lindenwood has around 60 international students from Venezuela. They have a lot of emotions. They didn't want Chavez to die, but they want him out of the power.
I was really surprised that he died. Well, of course, he has cancer, but it's like in shock. I think for now, the country have many emotions together, like happiness and sadness. But I hope the country will get better economically and socially.
I mean, there's nothing to celebrate.
Back in Venezuela, thousands of people lined the streets in Caracas as President Chavez's casket was transformed from the hospital where he died to a military compound.
Lindenwood University announces plans to increase tuition. Starting in the fall of 2013, Lindenwood University tuition will increase by 3.4%. The current tuition is $22,180 and will now increase to $22,940 per year. Evening LCIE tuition will also increase undergraduate by 4.1% and graduate by 3.9%. Lindenwood President James Evans says rising operation costs prompted the increase.
Some Missouri lawmakers say the State Highway Patrol needs to manage its spending. This comes in response to the purchase of $5.6 million airplane. The Missouri President Pro Tem says he's concerned by the Highway Patrol's purchase. Another Senator, Kurt Schiffer, says he's not sure what the plan is for in response. The Missouri Senate approved a measure requiring Senate approval of all Highway Patrol purchase over $100,000.
Taxes brought in more money for Missouri this year. According to the General Revenue Report, collections for Missouri have significantly grown in the past year. State Budget Director Linda Lubrig announced the year-to-date net general revenue collections. Lubrig says the collections increased almost 9% this year. Last year, the net revenue was over $4.5 billion. This year, the collections total almost $5 billion.
Changes to carry-on luggage guidelines are coming next month. Starting April 25th, airport passengers will be able to pack small knives, golf clubs, baseball bats, and other sports equipment in their carry-on. The Transportation Security Administration is adapting the international security standards. Not everyone is happy about this. A union representative, over 10,000 flight attendants for Southwest Airlines, opposed the change box cutters. Razor blades and knives that don't fall or have molded grip handles are still prohibited.
O'Fallon police are still searching for a woman they suspect after kidnapping her grandson. Police say 52-year-old Donna Marie Andrus took her grandson Samuel the day after Christmas. Samuel's mother has legal guardianship of him. Andress was charged with felony child abduction in January, but police have yet to find her or the boy. Bail is set at $25,000. Anyone with information on the case should call O'Fallon Police at 636-240-3200.
A new Missouri bill could soon protect those Good Samaritans if passed. The Good Samaritan law will limit fine or jail time for drug users who dial 911 for friends who overdose. However, Representative Brian Spencer says some people believe the measure is too soft in the war on drugs. Over 100 St. Louis Hearing Helps members rallied outside the Missouri Capitol on Tuesday, drawing attention to hearing abuse. The bill is awaiting a hearing in the House Crime Prevention and Public Safety Committee.
Straight ahead on LUTV News, a New York Times national correspondent paid a visit to Lindenwood Tuesday night.
Find out why this speaker series has such a large turnout ahead on LUTV News.
Oh, college is hard. Damn, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darks there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
A New York Times writer was on Lindenwood campus Tuesday night for a speaker series. LUTV News' Brett McMillan joins us in studio to talk about Alan Schwartz's impact on the NFL.
Concussions have been a part of football for a long time. Starting in 2007, Alan Schwartz wrote more than 100 articles about the link between football and brain injuries. His work played a major role in recent NFL rule changes intended to prevent head injuries. Schwartz spoke to several dozen students and area residents in the Anheuser-Busch Leadership Room. He shared audio and visual elements from his research. While pro football gets the most attention, Schwartz says concussions aren't strictly an NFL issue.
Considered it to be a public health story. It wasn't just about the NFL and what this $9 billion industry was doing with its millionaire athletes. It was about what happens in that arena that then happens on Friday nights in other arenas with 4.4 million children.
He's currently looking into Adderall abuse. He says the abuse rates at American universities are especially high. If you'd like to see the speaker series in its entirety, it'll air later this month on LUTV. For LUTV News, I'm Brett McMillan.
Former President Bill Clinton will be in St. Louis next month to speak at Washington University. Clinton is coming as part of his 6th annual Clinton Global Initiative University. The event will be held on April 5th through the 7th. Featured speakers include Clinton's daughter, Chelsea, and comedian Stephen Colbert. Topics to be discussed include education, human rights, climate change, and the environment. For more information, visit cgui.org.
Spring is just around the corner, bringing in sunshine and warmer temperatures along with it. Next, I'll have an update of your 5-day forecast.
His name is Biscuit, and he looks like he's certainly eaten a few.
Meet the St. Charles Feline, who is making headlines.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. Reading's the
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
As the colder temps fade away with winter, spring-like weather is on its way to St. Charles. Looking at the current conditions map, we can see there's barely any cloud coverage over the Midwest. And by looking towards the western states, we can see warmer temperatures that will head into Missouri later in the week. Now, the 5-day forecast is going to be an early spring treat for the Midwest. Wednesday night, we will have partly cloudy skies with a low of 24. Thursday, there will be sunny skies and temperatures warming up into the 40s. The weekend couldn't start off any better with continued sunny skies and a high of 55. Saturday, we can expect partly cloudy skies, but temperatures will raise into the 60s. And on Sunday, there will be thunderstorms that fade into rain with a low of 39. That's all the time we have for weather. For LUTV News, I'm Lauren Wan.
One cat in the St. Charles City Animal Control has become a worldwide celebrity, and even celebrities such as Anderson Cooper and Howard Stern are talking about him. After a story in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, adoption offers have come from as far as Australia and London. LUTV's Brittany Velasco visited the shelter to find out what makes this cat so special.
The average male house cat should weigh between 10 to 15 pounds. Biscuit is a rare kind of cat, weighing in at 37 pounds. His weight is too much for the cat scale, so he has to be weighed on the dog scale. The animal control officers at the St. Charles City Animal Control Shelter thought his weight would keep him from being adopted.
It's definitely a factor because all the extra weight can cause health problems. And some people just aren't really financially prepared to take on a cat that has medical issues, because then of course they would have to be able to provide more for him.
Biscuit had 2 previous owners, the first being a mentally disabled woman who lived with her mother. He was brought to the shelter about a year ago when he could not be properly cared for. He was adopted a second time, but had to be returned because the owner moved into an apartment that did not allow pets.
Biscuit is about 4 years old, and he's already been back to the shelter for about 2 weeks. He may be larger than most cats, but like every single one, he still loves to be petted.
Biscuit's weight caused him to have some physical difficulty. He could not walk a few steps without falling to the ground and panting. Since the shelter has put him on a diet, it has been easier for him to move around and even jump. Lead Animal Control Officer Teresa Gilly says Biscuit can be a bit finicky at times.
He obviously does like his food, so the restriction on the food, he gets a little moody. So, but overall, I mean, he's a very sweet cat.
Since the St. Louis Post-Dispatch story, Biscuit's fame has extended past the St. Charles area. CNN host Anderson Cooper is hoping to have him on the show, and radio personality Howard Stern even mentioned Biscuit on a recent show.
Just kind of ironic because to begin with, he wasn't necessarily the most adoptable cat, but now that people hear about him, they all, they want to provide him with a nice home.
It's very overwhelming. I mean, just, Biscuit is one cat out of millions, and just because he was in the paper, that doesn't, you don't need to go to your shelter and look for other cats.
So far, Biscuit has had over 100 adoption offers since the article came out, and a soldier in Afghanistan even took interest in Biscuit. The shelter is wanting to give him a loving home nearby so he does not have to deal with the stress of traveling.
We recommend that they come in and interact with Biscuit. We recommend that he be in a home with no children.
Whoever is chosen as Biscuit's new owner will have to remember to keep him on a strict diet. A recent vet checkup has shown Biscuit is in healthy condition with a healthy heart and lungs. For LUTV News, I'm Brittany Velasco.
In sports, find out who was honored after a great career at Lindenwood. Also, what Lion team is playing for national championship. We'll have those stories and more next on LUTV Sports.
Monday.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
The MIAA announced its all-conference men's basketball team on Monday. Lindenwood Lions senior point guard Alex Bazell was named to the second team. Bazell led the Lions in scoring average, 16.8 points per game. He also led the team in free throws made and attempted, and also he led in assist. Bazell will also leave the Lions as the all-time assist leader. Lindenwood finished the season in a tie for third in the MIAA with a record of 19-7. The Lindenwood Lions men's hockey team plays tonight for the ACHA Division I National Championship. The Lions upset Arizona State in the semifinals 6-4 on Tuesday night. Lindenwood will face Minot State tonight in the title game. Minot State is ranked third in the country and has a record of 33-4-0. The Lions have advanced to the finals 5 out of the last 6 years in the ACHA tourney. The game is played in Bensonville, Illinois, and can be seen via live streaming at acha.fasthockey.com. Face-off is at 7 o'clock. The Lindenwood shotgun team participated in the Lindenwood Arch competition that happened this past weekend. The competition was held at the Bridgeton, Missouri Gun Club. Among the events that took place after dark on Saturday night included shooting clay targets that glow orange when being hit. The next competition for the award-winning Lions shotgun team will be this weekend. Linden will face Kansas State Crossroads in Lenexa, Kansas, Saturday and Sunday. Lindenwood University's table tennis team qualified for the Nationals this weekend. The table tennis team performed well in the regional competition, guaranteeing their spot in the Nationals. Both the women's and men's team will be playing in the most important tournament for the university. Lindenwood University will also be represented in the singles competitions. 6 of the men and 2 of the women conquered their spot to defend Lindenwood University's in the singles category over the Nationals. One of the women players, Alicia Benchamal, shared her expectation for her first Nationals.
The only thing I know from Nationals is that it's a big competition, very tough. This will be my first Nationals. But I think we're ready because we have been practicing for a year now. And we're doing a good job so far. We just qualified for the regionals, and I expect that my team is going to win.
For Illinois on April the 12th through the 14th. Now let's go back to the news desk. I'm Dave Curry for LUTV Sports.
St. Louis is now on the list of top 10 destinations where travelers get the most bang for their buck. The annual Hotwire Travel Value Index gave St. Louis high marks for affordable entertainment and discounts to vacationers. St. Louis is the only Midwest cities to make the list. Orlando topped the list for the second year in a row and tied with Atlanta. Also on the list were Tampa, Florida, Dallas, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, and Houston, Texas.
The St. Charles Conventional Center will host the 7th annual Baby Kid Expo on April 13. The expo is the largest yearly event in the Metro St. Louis area. It's designed for parents and children to join entertainment as well as important information about safety, healthcare, and future college planning. The Missouri's Children Identification Program Protection will attend and provide ID package for children at no cost. For more information, visit babyexpo.com.
That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Emily Beck.
And I'm Julieta Rotzinger. Thank you for joining us.